Another mistake I see people make with Neville's work is that they lose focus of themselves. And this is specifically prevalent in a lot of the SP community. You'll notice, even in the language, it's very much about what the SP is doing, where they're going, who they're texting, what they're thinking, what they might be thinking, what they could potentially think in the future. The entire focus is on the other person, and in the context of trying to control the other person. And then the person loses complete sight of themselves. Remember, it's no one to change but self. And this is often missed. And this is why the results don't really show, is because it's not about getting someone to control them and make them do something. It's about you changing. Like, for example, Neville, when he wanted to be married, he fell asleep as a husband. He changed himself. He didn't think about his wife, making his future wife say yes to him and he's going to make her do this and she's going to think that. No, he changed himself. He focused on himself. And if you live a life where your complete focus is on someone else and what they're doing and what they could potentially do and what they could potentially be thinking, you're just living in anxiety. And that type of person will never get anything they want. You're just going to keep receiving yourself. Now, you can ignore yourself and just keep focusing on another person, but I think you're doing yourself a disservice there. Remember, there's no one to change but self. If you're trying to change other people, you've lost the plot. And this is very common, and it's very easy to miss. I've known people personally who've told me, I look back now and I see that the whole time I was trying to change the other person. My entire thoughts were on, I would imagine something and was really fueled and motivated by changing them. And I didn't change myself. I was trying to change them. It's like when Neville says, imagine a scene where you have someone reflect back to you like something that you want to be, but you're focusing on whether or not they're saying the right words, or whether or not you're critiquing their smile, or you're critiquing what they're saying, rather than realizing the scene is implying something about you. It's about a change in you. And when you come back to yourself, you gain clarity on yourself. So tonight, you ask yourself, what type of person do you want to go to sleep as? Like I said, if you want a friend, you would fall asleep as a friend. You would become the thing you want to be. Someone in the comments in the first video, in the first part, said, if you want a partner, you would fall asleep as one. So Neville, in that case, he wanted to be married. He fell asleep as a husband. He changed himself. He didn't view the goal to change another person. No one to change but self. If you can remember that, then you won't get confused. You won't be lost. Because the moment you go to other people and try to change them, your entire reality will be dirty. It'll be very hard to see. It won't be clear. It'll be confusing and frustrating. It's not so much about other people. It's about who you are with other people. Do you like who you are with other people? Do you like who you are with them? It's not really about them. And it really comes back to, no matter what, it's going to come back to the relationship you have with yourself. So sometimes people come to me, especially on one-on-ones, and I'll notice that I try to catch it early, but I don't want to stop people from talking. But the entire focus in the very beginning, it's entirely focused on the other person. Like we've spent the entire time talking about someone else and what they're doing and how they're being, rather than what the person wants to be and who they think they are. Do you see? Because it's that creates in our life. It's like recently I had a friend tell me that he finally changed something deep within him about himself towards a situation, and the situation changed. So we can try to use words to get there, but really it's when we change deep within us, what we really feel, that only really we know, that's what starts to change in our lives. If you come at it from a standpoint where you're desperate to make someone become something, you're desperate to change somebody, you're not going to change them. You're just going to keep creating you in that desperate state. You're going to start reflecting more of that in your life. It's just, this is kind of obvious, but it's not obvious when you're in it. It's very confusing. But again, you gain clarity when you come back to yourself. Who are you being? Do you want to be someone who lives in this unpredictability? Do you want to be someone whose entire focus is of someone else and what they're doing rather than what you're doing and being? because you can change it. I think a lot of times we might avoid what we're doing inside because we don't think we can change it, but you can. That's Neville's point, is that you have the power. You are the opera power to change whatever you're doing inside. And there's no one to change but self. Because the moment that the imagination stops focusing on oneself in that sense and gives its entire focus to someone else and trying to control them, I call that idolatry. We've moved into the realm of idolatry. And now you're worshiping, really, something else. That thing, this person, dictates your entire emotional and mental, your entire inner being. Your entire world is dictated on the whims of this person. And it wasn't like that all the time. At one point, it wasn't like that in your life, right? And now it is, because I've heard it said that the moment that education restricts the imagination, it becomes indoctrination. Seems kind of true here. The moment that you become obsessed or desperate for someone else, you've moved into idolatry. Once you remove the self, it becomes idolatry. You're worshiping some false god. You've made something greater than you. And so instead of you creating who you want to be inside, they do. You give the power to them to do it. And they decide who you're going to be and what you're going to do. And obviously they can't without really your consent, but, it doesn't feel that way. Like in this case with Neville, I'm sure Neville, when he went to sleep as a husband, he didn't ask anybody. He changed himself. He didn't wait for his wife to come and say yes to him. He changed himself into who he wanted to be. He didn't focus on her. This is very important. This is very important because you're going to get lost and really confused, and you're going to live a life of pure anxiety if your focus is someone else's actions. This is just my view. This is how I've seen Neville's work play out. Once the person focuses on themselves, a couple of things happens. The moment they decide who they want to be and what they want to do and they make that choice, a couple of things happen. Either that person will stop wanting the person that they thought they wanted. They realize that was just, they were just using that as a way to change their state, and they realize they could change it without them. Or things start going in their favor in a different direction. Like in that case, with Neville's case, he became the husband. He became that person he wanted to be. But don't be shocked if you start to change yourself and you don't want that person anymore. That happens all the time. And so that's really what I had for this one. I mean, I guess I might make more videos on this. It would be repetitive, but this is kind of the same thing. It's just, there's no one to change but self. And if you change yourself into a lovely, free, less obsessively anxious person, people are drawn to that. They're attracted to it naturally. This all just happens naturally. It's very hard to be attracted to someone who is compulsive. It's hard. It's easier when when you sense their inner freedom, you kind of are drawn to it. So if you just can remember there's no one to change but self, things will just always be clear to you. Until then, it's going to feel very restrictive, and you're at the whims of everybody else. And life just feels completely out of your control. Like you can't make any decisions on the inside. But once you decide that you're going to be this, you're going to do that, you're going to feel this, you're going to think that, you gain control over your inner world, you gain control over your life. Until then, it's going to feel, life's going to feel more like a reaction. But I mean, maybe I'll make more videos on it. I'll see how I'll see the response. But okay, that's all I had for this one. Again, someone was asking about how do you sign up for a one-on-one? You have to go to the description. Just email me and you'll get an automated message. And my books are there as well. So just go to the description and all the information will be there. But again, thank you guys for listening. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video.